it might lead you somewhere you never thought. Oh, Grandpa was born in DeWitt County. Well, we hold in Clinton, we've got records going pretty far back, and if you ever want to dig into it, if you've got a Freemason that was a relation, we could look up their petition, and you might find out that Grandpa was born somewhere else. It might explain why you're having a brick wall where you can't figure out where he grew up or whatever. At the same time, I like to put it out there for the Freemasons, but two stones back there, the Fairbanks, it's got the GAR. Now Terry, I think, mentioned that early. Grand Army of the Republic. Civil War ended. All the Union guys were like, man, we had a good time in the Union, in the war. We want to hang out together and reminisce. And they formed in each town these organizations, So you've got a clue there. Hey, this person served in the Civil War. So right there's enlistment records. These records, a lot of them are online, a lot of them are readily available. Most folks that fought in the Civil War, at least on the Union side, sooner or later, they got old and they're like, I can't work as much as I used to. I could use a little free money. So they would apply for a pension. And their friends and neighbors and their doctor would write letters, and they'd apply to the government. And some people, if you're missing a leg, you're going to get a pension pretty quick. I had a very, very distant cousin. He fought as a barber in the Spanish-American War in the Philippines, and as the years went by, he claimed that he couldn't cut hair anymore because he had contracted dysentery in the Philippines. Okay, maybe he did. So, the National Archives in Washington, D.C. holds most of those pension files. There's an online index. If you have access to Ancestry, you can look for your relative's name, see if they filed for a pension. You'll have to do a little legwork to make sure, if your ancestor was Tom Smith, you're going to have to do a little work to make sure it's the right guy. You can write off to the National Archives. It's going to cost you the better part of $100 to get that pension file. I've got 3, maybe 4 of them on my relation. They are an absolute gold mine of genealogical information. They'll detail, if they fought in the Civil War, what battles they may have fought at, that they were, present, military unit. You can then go look at the unit's history. They'll make them say, when were you born? Where were you born? Who did you marry? What children do you have that are still living? And what are their ages? Well, if you get a child that was born between 2 census years, decades, and they died, there might not be a record of them, but it very well may be in their pension file. They're very well worth getting. But anytime you go to a cemetery, when you look at these dates of death here, date of birth and all that, well, it's written in stone. Don't take it as the gospel. It's part of a process that you're going to use if you're doing genealogy. Okay, this guy died in 1902 here, but you pulled their obituary and it's from 1903. Well, those dates may not have been put on there until many years later, if at all. But again, as you're looking at stones, we were talking about the modern woodman of America back out there by Tunbridge, and I think it's that big gray stone over there, the tall one. It's got MWA on it, and it's an axe, some other sort of tool like a sledge or something. That was their symbol, and they closed their archives. I've seen some of their records, and same thing. Who are you? Where were you born? Well, in Illinois, recordation of birth, death started in 1877. Really wasn't, it was kind of hit and miss until 1916. Now, marriages were always recorded, but you're looking for great-great-grandpa's birth record. He was born in 1880, and you can't find it? I'll tell you why you can't find it. They didn't record it. Maybe in a family Bible, maybe at a church when they were baptized, but you get to looking at other records, pension records, Masonic Lodge, or any fraternal organization they're a member of. You want to start looking and get on the internet. Where are these records at? I don't know where they are currently, but over in Jacksonville, the Methodist Church has their archives for this part of Illinois. And at the college there, I can't think of the name of it, it's since closed. So where their records are going, I don't know. But I went over one day, and every Methodist church that had closed, those records went to that central location. Sometimes it was everything. Sometimes it was just whatever records they felt like sending. But it was worth a day trip to Jacksonville for me about 10 years ago. There was a Methodist church in Decatur that closed. My family worshiped there. I was able to pull out some information that wasn't available anywhere else. Again, it all starts at looking at a gravestone. Questions? That's it. Have a great day.
I got one more thing I want to add on the burials here. Most of that was governed by religious tradition, and that's why the men are on the left, the women are on the right, because that's the way they stood when they got married at the altar. That puts the woman on the heart side of the man, and that's why they're done that way. Also, we have over 200 veterans buried in this cemetery. Every Memorial Day,